This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's December 17th. I'm here with Brandon and Erica. I'm Jeff. Stephanie has the week off. She's in jolly old London.
It's jolly?
Isn't it?
She's just loving it.
I don't know.
Let's get started, guys. After 20 years of marriage, it's over for New Jersey housewife Teresa Giudice and her husband Joe. A source close to the couple says they decided to split in November when Teresa and their daughters visited Joe in Italy, where he is awaiting his final deportation ruling. According to reports, they have no plans to divorce just yet, so they're just separated right now.
Which I think is cool. You know, let that check clear from Bravo now that, you know, they did the reunion special already. But give him time to get on his feet, you know, and let the girls kind of adjust to their dad fully not being in the country. One, he was in ICE detention, but now he's out of the country. So
right.
I look at it as a thing where I read that the girls are going to be over in Italy for Christmas. So just let the smoke and the dust clear a little bit and then move on from there. I feel like it was a great idea.
These are two people who have no intentions of getting back together. It was very clear, even when it was like up in the air because they were going over to film in Italy, they were talking about their relationship in the past tense. Mm-hmm. When you start talking about your relationship in the past tense, that means that it is dead and buried. Now, I can understand them trying to get their coins, and they should get as many coins as they possibly can because those legal fees were absolutely no joke. Mm-hmm. And when you're talking about waiting for an appeal, especially when it's ICE, that's a big deal. But these two people don't want to be together. It's been very clear. Andy Cohen even brought it up on Watch What Happens Live. Like, why do you keep saying when we were married, everything was past tense? Let it go.
Why don't they just say we're going to get a divorce then?
What's the point of getting a divorce?
Milk it some more.
But what's the point of getting a divorce?
No, you have to get divorced.
He lives in Italy. She lives in Jersey.
Yeah, but still.
But now, since you're split up, are you allowed to sleep with other people?
Absolutely.
Well, I think that was happening before.
Brandon answered that before I even said split up.
Absolutely. According to the word on the street was they weren't waiting on that divorce to start their lives together or start their lives apart.
They were accusing each other.
Good for them. I think too many people stay together and then they start tearing each other apart. Not that this would have been an issue because you'd have to be on the same continent.
And you said, why would they not say they're divorced? Because you tease a little, you hint that maybe we could get back. You want another special. Keep that money rolling in. Remember, he lives with his mom right now in Italy.
Listen, I wouldn't mind living with my mom in Italy, I'll tell you that. Living on your own's tough. Is Justin Timberlake trying too hard to prove things are okay at home? His wife Jessica Biel posted this video on her Instagram, and Justin made sure to comment on it. Check this out with lovey-dovey emojis. Just a couple weeks ago, if you remember, he was caught on camera getting cozy with a co-star. He said it was a lapse in judgment, and he apologized publicly. So is he trying to get out of the doghouse? Or are we just reading too much into this, Erica?
This is from the Tristan Thompson playbook with Khloe Kardashian.
Yeah.
This is a way. This is his way of saying everything's okay for everyone who believes that things aren't okay. Yeah. I don't know if there's really any substance to it or if there's really a deep meaning to it, but it's definitely from Tristan Thompson's playbook, and I think it's just like a little like floater.
Isn't this like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, though?
Yeah, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, like, he was just getting his leg rubbed a little bit. It wasn't a full kiss like Tristan Thompson, and it wasn't a whole cheat because, remember, Kobe Bryant had to buy Vanessa a full big 40-carat ring. I don't know how many carats it was, but Bugs Bunny would have loved it. But here's the thing. All he had to do was publicly apologize. Remember, Jay-Z got it bad. Beyonce made an entire Lemonade album on him, remember? So if all he has to do is do little heart face emojis and all that, then Justin, you'll be in the clear. We'll forget about it in a couple of weeks.
So you just keep putting those lovey-dovey emojis.
Putting them up there.
I I think that this is a really tough position to be in, and I actually feel bad for the people who are making this movie with the two of them.
Yeah.
Because this will always be the Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Because although we only saw a portion of that little video that was on the balcony, it seemed like they were very comfortable and very familiar. So, of course, there's a lot of speculation about what was happening behind closed doors if they were that emboldened to do those things in public.
So is this good promotion, though, for that movie? Do you kind of want to watch it and see the chemistry?
I don't know. Well, it better be one hell of a movie,
Yeah.
because if it's not and critics come out and say it's a dud, I think it's going to flop. And that's much to the unfortunate situation for everybody else involved.
And if it flops and I'm one of the castmates, I'm going on GMA and I'm telling everything I saw. I'm not a snitch. I'm not a
Sounds
snitch.
like it.
Sounds very-
That's not
Sounds
snitching.
snitchy.
You ruined my movie.
I think that's a definition of a
You
snitch.
ruined my movie. Now I'm going to
gonna
get some
tell.
publicity off of it. No, I'm not telling. I'm just saying.
You
That's two
ruined
different
my movie,
things.
now I'm gonna
I love-
tell.
I love
care.
Yep,
Brandon's
that's a
logic
snitch.
of everything.
I don't care.
I'm not dating. I'm
don't
just
care.
seeing somebody. But he is dating. He is dating. And by the way, that ring was 8 carats, $4 million
For
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, see?
There you go.
See?
All right, guys. Speaking of couples and dating, did Kate Middleton shrug off Prince William when he tried to touch her on TV? Uh-oh. Watching you decide. We haven't seen this yet, so let's check this out. Fast. That was a little
Whoa.
fast. Let's watch it again in slow-mo so we can catch it.
Whoa. Don't touch me.
Oh. Wow.
We're gonna have a
That's when, this is what, listen, I don't know what happened, but this is what happens when you're at a family party and you fight with your wife and you're like, man, and then you go out there and you're like, hey, everybody, and then you're like, hey, love. It's like that. It's like that. So I don't know what happened, but it looked like one of those, because my wife has definitely done that to me when she's
See,
not happy with me.
There's one thing to do, like maybe like, and the slide,
Just a little
but that
slide.
was like, I am allergic to you. Like, look,
Look at
allergic.
the smile on the face, though. It doesn't break. That's when you know it's bad.
Well, that was like a visceral reaction. Like, she wasn't anticipating that touch, and she was like, get off me. There's trouble.
What do you
There's
make
trouble
of
in the
it, Brandon?
palace.
Hey, look. I think y'all are looking into it a little bit. It's royal protocol for no PDA. We did a story on why Meghan Markle and Prince Charles, or whichever prince she's
William.
with,
Or,
that one too.
Harry.
Yeah.
All of
so
them.
many. we did a story on why they can't sit next to each other at little dinners and stuff because they show too much PDA. And then there was the thing at Wimbledon when they kissed, they weren't supposed to. Too much PDA. These are the royals.
But a hand on
No,
the
that makes it
shoulder-
worse. That makes it worse. I mean, they're breaking protocol and saying that we are modernizing the monarchy. You have someone who has been born and bred into said monarchy, and he thought it was okay to at least put his hand on her shoulder, and she is more recent into the monarchy, and she was like, nah, dog, that means something happened. And there's been a lot of rumors. There have been a lot of rumors, because I also think
What you
that the
think?
Harry and Meghan thing also sparked a lot of controversy, because Harry got to do what he wanted to do, and William had to go the traditional route. And you know that a man should always love a woman at least 30% more if he is going to marry her. We have to account for that 30%, because 10% of that is like just a man being a man. The other 10% is the natural evolution of a mother or a wife to a mother. And then that last 10% is the love that you have, because society has told us that men can go ahead and move on with younger women, but we still go about older women moving on with younger men. So 30%. And I think that that's a problem, because I don't think he loves her 30% more.
Did you keep up with that? Because I got a D in economics, and I'm trying to put the percents together right now. But can
I'm
we
just
discuss this
saying.
again?
That's why it's very important.
gotta watch his back
Ladies,
and take
where's my
notes.
camera? Where is my camera? Ladies, okay, I just want to be very clear. I know you love him. I know you think that he is the man of your dreams. But if he is not really coming for you all the time, then I would second guess that situation, because if you're in the dating app or part of your world, it's not going to get any better. He's not going to fall more in love with you. He needs to be in love with you like 50% right now, so that when you get married, he's in love with you 30%, because you're going to be chasing him for the rest of your life, and then you get things like, I'm telling you.
Wow. Brandon, we're going to quiz you at the end of the show.
Oh, man.
All right, let's
It's
get
true.
this last story in. Thirsty Thursday has arrived a little early. Kumail Nanjiani is getting some major love after sharing his fitness journey on social media. Woo! Here's what the actor posted yesterday. Look at that. That looks photoshopped, but you have to see what he normally looks like. Look at that. Look at that before and after. He got ripped for a role in a new Marvel movie, but he admits his transformation was a team effort. Thanks to TMZ for getting this video and sharing it with the world. There's his workout regimen.
Is that proper form, Jeff?
I think so. I think so. That looks good. He's keeping a steady base.
I'm not buying that.
What are you talking about?
I'm not buying that. PEDs.
Oh, you think he's
Performance
say that?
enhancing drugs, because half the NFL gets in trouble for them too, and these are athletes. We're not talking about some small little scrawny
But
actor.
it's not illegal for actors to do it. I'm not saying he did.
But don't try and say, hey, I want to thank Warner Brothers for getting me a great trainer and a great regimen and eating chicken and broccoli all day. PEDs.
Dude,
Watch.
you know you got to be good on your, to look like that, you got to cut out sugar, you got to be on a diet for months at a time.
Genetics, man. He doesn't have it in him for him to look like that.
How do you know
without
that?
creatine,
Creatine's not
NO2,
illegal.
PEDs, he has something to help him work out. All right.
I don't know. I would be interested in seeing how much muscle he gained in a year, because that's always the telltale. But I've seen some amazing transformations in 6 months for people who were actually tested and they were on nothing.
How big is this guy? He's an actor, so no more than 5'8".
Wow, you're hating. He looks
I'm not
great.
hating. I'm not hating. This is what I did my entire life for professional sports. You did it. You worked out. You were in competitions. People just don't jump from a skinny body like that to looking like Thor. He's 5'9". Come on now.
Damn.
Why has he got to be on PEDs?
Because I'm hating right now.
Yeah,
It's my
dude,
body
that's some
don't look
Exactly,
jelly
like that.
beans.
It's my
exactly.
body
Jelly
don't
all
look-
about it.
It's the eggnog, man. The eggnog's getting to my stomach.
You just want to have fun on the holiday and you're mad you don't look like that.
Yeah.
At least anymore.
That's all right. My thirst traps get more likes than that.
Wow. DBL is live and coming up. She's an actress, producer, author, and philanthropist. Marlo Thomas is on DBL and talking about what really matters most to her. And he went from the Jersey Shore to prison, and now Mike, the situation is on a new path. He and his wife tell me all about Mike's turning point in his life and all about his big turnaround. There we are right there. They're two cuties. And we come back.
Well,
So Brandon wants to throw out PEDs. I didn't get a chance to say that PEDs for Brandon stands for Pet D.
Oh.
Of course, we have no knowledge of anything like that.
no, we
Allegedly.
don't. This is alleged, but come on now. This is what I've done my entire life.
Yeah, it's
This
just
is what I've done my entire life. You don't become he's 5'9", what? Let's say $150, $155 in real life, and then you just.
A year of working out can
Man, you can only, your body can only transform, like you can only put on so much. You can lose a lot of weight, but you can only put on so much and shred your body so much. Watch that ledge there, Mike. You don't want to have another incident. That's how I take it all off of me.
But do you and let's just play along with that theory. Do you hate on him if he did take something? Because it's not illegal in what he does.
It's not illegal.
It's his body.
Just don't do the whole Kardashian fit tea thing. You know, if
like start promoting products?
No, I know. I'm just making sure because when I was reading some of the comments and stuff, people are like, no way, he has that, he can have a body like that. So when they actually talk to him, and he's saying, well, he actually did just say that, thank the trainers and all that.
Right.
If you use a little something, if you lose a little juice, go ahead. You don't play for the Bears.
I don't know, because it makes very little sense. Not that people just don't just omit things, but it makes very little sense to come forward to be like, don't just think you can do this at home and give your entire routine and just leave that out.
That's
and
easy.
he's a guy, like, I feel like a lot of people have said about his integrity, and he doesn't come across as like a scuzz bucket. So why would you be transparent about what it took to get you there in order for other people not to feel like they can do it too just by cutting out sugar and then just leave out PEDs?
Because that's not illegal in Hollywood. You can
Right,
take that.
but
I
why
can see
would
if it was one thing if
why
Odell
wouldn't he
Beckham
just be
Jr.
like,
said
thank
it.
you?
If Odell Beckham Jr. said it, of course he would omit that.
I think
if
he
he
could
was,
get, like,
Odell
if you're-
doesn't. I'm just saying.
If you're working
But-
for... Welcome back to DBL. It's been a year of changes for Mike the Situation Sorrentino. The star of Jersey Shore is out of prison after serving 8 months for tax evasion. The gym tan and laundry days might be over, but Mike is on a new mission to help addicts get into recovery. I caught up with my friends Mike and Lauren to hear all about it in today's Chatting with the Stars. Mike and Lauren, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me and Daily Blast Live. Now, Mike, we're going to jump right in here, man. You've been out of prison for 4 months. How did that change you?
You know, I had a choice at the end of the day to become better or become bitter. And to be honest with you, I chose positivity. I chose to become better in any way, shape, or form.
Mike, you're an inspiration to me. I mean, I follow a lot of guys. I listen to a lot of positivity in the morning. And believe it or not, you're one of them, man. Your life has inspired mine.
Thank you so much. It was definitely a long road, but with support of this one right here, my better half, it was all worth it.
What was the first thing you did, Mike, when you came out of prison?
The first thing that we got when we got out of prison was to have a naked pizza party.
Just you
Yes.
two, I assume.
Yes. Yes. I pretty much wanted to get back to life, and I wanted to get back to work. I wanted to get back to being my best self, because it was almost about 8 months where I wasn't allowed to work. I wasn't allowed to earn any income. I wasn't around for my family, so I had a lot of making up to do.
Absolutely. And Lauren, how did you handle those 8 months, Mike, being away?
It was tough, but you know what? His recovery kind of taught me to do one day at a time. And you know, the positive part of it was I was able to communicate with him all day, and then I would see him once a week. So we found a way to make it work.
So, Mike, how are you celebrating your 4 years clean and sober?
I'm 4 years clean and sober on Christmas Eve, and to commemorate the awesome success, we're going to celebrate by partnering with Banyan Treatment Centers, and we're giving away a free 30-day scholarship to rehab, which is really the gift of recovery, and it's so awesome.
And speaking of your life with the Jersey Shore, Snooki just announced she's officially leaving the show. So what's going to happen to the show? And I got a feeling there might be a spinoff for you and Lauren in the works. Any talks yet?
Well, we really can't speak too much about that particular subject, but myself and my wife are definitely working on a couple things right now. We got a 2020 situation happening, clear mind, body, and spirit in 2020.
Speaking of this situation happening, your situation is back, Mike. I follow you, of course, on Instagram. You look fantastic.
Thank you, as you do too.
I was actually talking to Lauren, Mike. No, you guys both look fantastic, man. Thank you so much for taking the time. Happy holiday, and I wish nothing but the best for you guys, man. You guys are the best.
Happy holidays to
We love
you,
you
your
guys.
family, and Daily Blast Live. We love you guys. Peace.
Oh, I love those two cuties. We'll be right back.
Today, every baby gets a birth certificate, so it's no problem to prove what day you were born on. But back in Jesus' time, that wasn't a thing, so it begs the question, was he born on December 25th? For answers, I'm looking at early historical and biblical references to Jesus and talking to Dr. Robert Hunt, a theology professor at SMU. Was Jesus born on December 25th?
We don't know. That's the short answer.
Why not? Well, let's start with the Bible. It actually doesn't even offer a date. And though the Gospels of Matthew and Luke do tell the story of Jesus' birth, they don't offer any concrete evidence of a date either. That's where historical references come into play, and a guy named Flavius Josephus. Great name. He's considered to be the first historian to actually speak about Jesus in an historical way. He mentions him by way of referencing Jesus' brother, James. The historian writes, the brother of Jesus, who called himself Christ, whose name was James. It's that reference that allowed scholars to begin placing Jesus' birth into a range of historical events.
We start with Josephus and then we move to other Roman sources. And it's always, the issue is then always to triangulate from these references to Jesus backward to a birth date.
But it's more of an art than a science.
It's really a little more of an art than a science.
There is some speculation that Jesus' birthday was arranged to coincide with a pagan holiday, but most scholars believe there's very little evidence to support that. Instead, Hunt says between the 2nd and 4th century, Christians began settling on the date of December 25th, but not all. Some Christians split on that as well. Armenian Orthodox set the date as January 6th, and Russian Orthodox celebrate on January 7th.
And what we get is a reasonable date in late November through sometime in early January of the 5th year before the Common Era.
So was Jesus born?
Welcome back to DBL. It's not every day you get to hear from a TV legend and have the opportunity to help save thousands of children. Tori Shulman caught up with Marlo Thomas about how you can support St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. That's in tonight's bonus Chatting with the Stars. Marlo Thomas, welcome to DBL. Now, you made history as the star of That Girl when you were only 26. Hello. How has Hollywood changed since then?
Oh, my goodness. Well, when I did That Girl, I was probably one of the only women other than Lucille Ball who produced her own show.
Yes, girl.
And I was That Girl. I was kind of a freak. I remember going to these meetings at the network, and there were no other women except some poor assistant who poured the coffee, but there was nobody else.
Now, I want to get to your TV legend father, Danny Thomas. Many people don't know he's the producer of, let's say, Andy Griffith Show. We've got the Dick Van Dyke Show. He also helped start St. Jude, where I really want to get to with you. Talk to me about St. Jude, and I'm not sure people know about the amount of money that is spent each day and how much money is expected from the parents and the children. Tell us about it.
It's really called America's Hospital because the children come from all over America, and our research is delivered to every hospital and laboratory all across America and across the world, really. And it's America that helps us pay for it because we don't have any paying customers at St. Jude. My father made a promise that no family would ever pay St. Jude for anything, not travel or housing or food or treatment, nothing. So that's a very big nut we have to crack every day. It costs $2.8 million a day.
A day?
$2.8 million a day to run St. Jude, to take care of the children for free, to also pay for this great amount of treatment and clinics and so forth, and then the research.
I just want to let you know really quick that we know Danny Thomas gets a lot of support and recognition. I just want to let you know, I don't think that you get enough credit for saving so many children's lives. So I just want you to accept that because we here really do.
Thank you.
Like, we can't even tell you how much you don't get enough credit. Now, how can
That's
our
very
viewers...
kind of you.
Well, now I'm crying and I have an ugly cry, so this is terrible. Now, how can our viewers support the St. Jude's Thanks and Giving campaign?
Well, this is a time of year to give thanks for the healthy kids in your life and to give to those who are not. So you can go shopping. We have all these wonderful partners. I can't name all of them. You can go to stjude.org and see all 60 of them.
Now, really quick before we end, your children's project, Free to Be You and Me, inspired so many kids, including myself. It is the soundtrack of my childhood. I knew I was going to lose it. Hearing your voice is crazy to me right now. I want to ask you, do you realize how you raised a generation of children that felt safe being themselves? I'm talking
I'm glad
trans,
that
everything. So do you know that?
I've heard that, and I'm glad you've all turned out so well, or I'd be really guilty.
We're all terrible, right? Oh, man, it has been such a childhood honor. Marlo Thomas, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey. Happy Christmas.
Tori Shulman just fangirled all over Marlo Thomas. We will be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Welcome back to DBL. It's a Wonderful Life was released in 1946 and was considered a bust. But when the film fell into the public domain, TV stations across the country played the movie on repeat and helped it become the holiday classic it is today. I sat down with Carolyn Grimes and Jimmy Hawkins, better known as Zuzu and Tommy Bailey, to talk about the iconic film in today's DBL Spotlight.
To my big brother George, the richest man in town.
Carolyn Grimes and Jimmy Hawkins, welcome to Daily Blast Live. I can't believe I'm talking to Zuzu and Tommy in real life. This is amazing for me.
Daddy! Zuzu, my little ginger snap, how do you feel?
Fine. So this is my mother's favorite movie, guys, so thank you so much for doing this interview.
Oh, well, great. Tell her Merry Christmas from the Bailey kids, all right?
You got it. I appreciate that. All right, guys, It's a Wonderful Life came out over 70 years ago. Why does it continue to connect with audiences all these years later?
I feel it's the message that Frank Capra was trying to put over, that each man's life touches so many others, if they weren't around, it would leave an awful hole. That's
the
it.
message. We all make a difference.
We were talking to Sheldon Leonard about the movie being a flop. He said, well, you know, it's a big hit now, but one thing for sure, the movie never changed. The people changed. The people need that message more than ever now.
No, I love that answer. I was just going to say, because many people didn't know that It's a Wonderful Life was considered a box office failure.
That's right.
True.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
it wasn't a box office flop, actually.
yeah,
It
TV
lost
made
money
it a
right
hit.
away.
Yeah, TV made it a hit because of copyright, and TV stations could play it all over the United States for free, and boy, they took advantage of that.
Everyone loves the film, and they have special times they watch it when they're trimming the tree or when they're wrapping the presents.
Yeah.
They watch It's a Wonderful Life.
I mean, it's quite an incredible story that it was a big flop, and then boom, it's one of the greatest movies ever made. It's something that was meant to be at its time.
Yeah.
You know.
When the time was ready for it. But there was a lot of reasons that it wasn't a success when it came out. You know, it was marketed as a romantic comedy.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
right.
There was a lot of reasons why. But when the people were ready for it, they got it.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on Daily Blast Live. It's a Wonderful Life has been fully restored, and the holiday classic has never looked better. So pick up your copy today. Carolyn Grimes and Jimmy Hawkins, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh,
well, thank you,
Jeff. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
We're catching up with the talented Dermot Mulroney to chat about his new animated film, Cats, and reuniting with his co-star Julia Roberts from My Best Friend's Wedding. Join the conversation on the next Daily Blast Live.
Welcome back to DBL. Erica, you have some comments?
I do. They're about William and Kate. Jonetta says, ooh. Kate didn't come to play. The prince is in the doghouse. And Veronica said that must have been a long ride home back to the palace for William and Kate.
I'm telling you, I know this look. I know I've had this look. It's like when I'm with my wife and I'm like, you better not talk to me like that. And then the doors open and everybody's there and we're like, oh, hi, everybody. And I go to put my hand on her shoulder and she's like, you're dead when we get home. It's like one of those, you know what I mean? She pulled one of those. I know that look. He's in trouble.
So how do you smooth it over?
Oh, man, chocolates. I don't know. What do you like?
Emojis under the Instagram post, like JT.
If that ever happens and Anthony and I aren't seeing eye to eye in public, then he'll go to the bar and get me a glass of wine. Like, okay, I'm just gonna get liquor.
Duly noted. Sometimes it helps and sometimes it's rocket fuel.
Yeah. No, for me, I'm like, if I have wine, it'll all be fine.
Ooh, good to know. Good to know. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. Same time, same place. Happy Tuesday.